Did you know that a simple, persistent itch in certain parts of your body could be an early warning sign of cancer? Most people, especially those over 60, tend to dismiss itchiness as just dry skin, allergies, or part of aging. But sometimes that itch is your body's quiet way of asking for help, long before other symptoms appear. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 very specific places where persistent itching can be an early signal of serious conditions like lymphoma, pancreatic cancer, breast cancer, or skin cancers. But stay with me until the end because I won't just list body parts. You'll learn why these areas itch, which types of cancer they're linked to, and how to tell when it's something serious versus something harmless. This is not about panic. This is about awareness, because catching something early could literally save your life. If you or someone you love has been dealing with an itch on the lower legs, especially the shins or calves, that won't go away, it's time to pay attention. We're not talking about occasional dryness or bug bites. This is a deep, constant itch, often worse at night, and it doesn't respond to moisturizers. In many cases, doctors have found this type of itching connected to lymphoma, a blood-related cancer that affects the lymphatic system. As the cancer develops, it releases inflammatory chemicals into the bloodstream. One side effect: an intense internal itch with no visible rash. I remember a story about a man named George, 75. For 6 months, he had a relentless itch on his shins. No creams worked. His doctor first thought it was eczema, but blood tests later showed abnormal white cells. A scan revealed swollen lymph nodes in his chest. That itch was the very first sign of lymphoma. If you notice this kind of itch, combined with other quiet symptoms like night sweats, fatigue, or unexplained weight loss, don't wait. Talk to your doctor. An itch in the upper back, right between the shoulder blades, may seem harmless. Maybe it feels like dry skin or an annoying tag on your shirt. But for some people, this has been an early warning sign of pancreatic cancer. How does that make sense? Well, when a tumor blocks the bile ducts, bile salts build up in the blood, irritating nerves, especially those in the upper back where there are many sensory nerve endings. A woman named Linda, 70, shared her story. She had this deep, nagging itch on her upper back. No lotion worked. No change of clothes helped. When she eventually had blood work done for fatigue, doctors discovered a tumor in her pancreas blocking her bile duct. That itch was her first and only warning. If the itch feels like it's coming from under the skin, doesn't move, and doesn't improve, especially if paired with fatigue, dark urine, or pale stools, get it checked. A little scalp itch happens to everyone, right? But if it becomes persistent, tingling, burning, or crawling, and there's no dandruff or redness, it may be a deeper problem. In some cases, this can be an early symptom of leukemia, a cancer of the blood, or even skin cancer on the scalp. Henry, 73, had this weird itch on his scalp every afternoon. He blamed his shampoo. He blamed his hats. Nothing worked. When routine blood tests were done for fatigue, doctors found abnormally high white blood cell counts, a sign of chronic leukemia. That scalp itch was his first warning. The scalp is tricky because it's hard to examine yourself. So if the itch doesn't go away, ask someone, a family member, a caregiver, or even your hairdresser, to check for any small lesions, bumps, or changes. If you notice constant itching on your chest, breast, or around the nipple area, don't automatically assume it's dry skin or friction from clothes. This type of itch has been linked to inflammatory breast cancer, a rare but aggressive form of cancer that often doesn't begin with a lump. Instead, it can start as a nagging itch, skin thickening, redness, or a feeling of tightness. Ruth, 69, ignored a persistent itch near her right breast for weeks. She changed bras. She changed soaps. But the itch stayed. When her doctor finally examined her, they found a small but serious tumor pressing near the skin surface. The itch was the very first warning sign. And this isn't just for women. Men can develop breast cancer too. An itchy spot near the nipple or skin that feels rough or slightly thickened should always be checked out. This is the most uncomfortable to talk about, but maybe the most ignored. When there's chronic itching in the anal or genital area that isn't caused by irritation, poor hygiene, infections, or allergies, could be an early warning of cancers like anal cancer, vulvar cancer, or penile cancer. Take Eugene, 76, for example. He thought he had hemorrhoids because of an itch that just wouldn't go away for nearly a year. Creams didn't help. Eventually, doctors found a small tumor in his anal canal. The itch was his body's first warning. This kind of itch often feels deep, burning, raw, and it doesn't improve no matter what treatment you try. If it's focused on one spot and lasts for weeks or months, get it checked. For women, persistent itching in the vulvar area, especially after age 60, can sometimes be an early sign of vulvar cancer. It might come with skin that feels thinner, rougher, or slightly discolored. The most important thing to remember is this: your body is always speaking to you. Sometimes with pain, sometimes with fatigue, and sometimes with a simple, nagging itch that just won't go away. The 5 areas we've discussed today, the lower legs, upper back, scalp, chest, and genital region, are places where certain cancers sometimes send their earliest warnings. This isn't about fear. It's about paying attention, listening to your body, and knowing that early detection saves lives. If any of these signs sound familiar to you, don't ignore them. Talk to your doctor. Ask questions. Get answers. Thank you for being here with me today. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos that empower you to take care of your health.